Imagine this, you're in the middle of a conversation, someone says something that stings, and before you even think, words fly out of your mouth, sharp, heated, and impossible to take back. Later, when things calm down, you sit there wishing you had handled it differently. This is what happens when emotions control us. But what if you could flip the script? What if, instead of being a passenger in the storm, you became the captain who knows how to guide the ship safely through? Today, we're diving deep into the psychology of emotions, not in a complicated, scientific way, but in a clear, practical way that shows you how to take control instead of being controlled. Emotions aren't bad. In fact, they're signals, like little alarms going off inside us. Anger can signal injustice. Sadness can signal loss or unmet needs. Anxiety can signal uncertainty or fear. The problem is not the emotions themselves, but what we do with them. If we let them take the driver's seat, they'll push us into arguments, regrets, or even self-doubt. But if we learn to listen to them, understand them, and then respond wisely, emotions can actually become our greatest strength. The first step in controlling emotions is awareness. Most people react without even realizing what they're feeling in the moment. So, the next time you feel triggered, pause. Instead of snapping back or shutting down, silently name the feeling. I'm angry. I'm nervous. I feel hurt. This simple act of labeling emotions calms down the brain's emotional center and activates the rational part. Think of it as turning on a light in a dark room. Suddenly, you can see what's really going on instead of stumbling around blindly. The second step is creating space between the emotion and the reaction. Strong feelings often demand immediate action, but that's exactly when mistakes happen. Psychology teaches us about the pause and respond principle. When you feel an emotional surge, give yourself a small gap before acting. Take a breath. Count to 10. Walk away if needed. This tiny pause changes everything, because it shifts you from being reactive to being intentional. The third step is asking yourself, what's the story behind this emotion? For example, if you're angry because a friend canceled plans, the deeper story might not be about the plans at all, it might be about feeling unimportant or ignored. By uncovering the story, you're no longer wrestling with the surface emotion. You're addressing the root cause, which is far more powerful. Another key technique is learning to regulate emotions through the body. Emotions are not just in the mind, they show up in your heartbeat, your breathing, your muscles. That's why calming the body calms the mind. Slow breathing, relaxing your shoulders, or even splashing cold water on your face can signal to your nervous system, it's okay, you're safe. This lowers the intensity of emotions and makes it easier to think clearly. And here's something many people overlook: emotions are shaped by thoughts. The way you interpret a situation often determines how you feel about it. If someone cuts you off in traffic, you might think, that person disrespected me, and feel angry. But if you think, maybe they're rushing to an emergency, you might feel understanding instead. Same event, different interpretation, completely different emotion. By challenging your thoughts, you reshape your emotions. Finally, controlling emotions doesn't mean suppressing them. Suppression is like stuffing clothes into an overfilled suitcase, the pressure only builds until it bursts. True control is about expression with wisdom. That means choosing when, how, and to whom you express your feelings. Sometimes it's writing it down in a journal, sometimes it's talking to someone you trust, and sometimes it's taking time to cool off before having a difficult conversation. Remember this, emotions are powerful, but they don't define you. They are visitors, not permanent residents. When you learn to recognize them, pause before reacting, question their story, calm your body, and reshape your thoughts, you step into control. You stop being pulled by every emotional wave and instead, you ride them with balance. So, the next time emotions rise, don't see them as enemies trying to ruin your day. See them as signals, as teachers, as tools. And remind yourself, you are the one in charge, not your feelings.